I think that the other problem, and Matthew Kelly, who's considered the dynamic Catholic, he's a writer and he used to be a business coach and he does all these things. And he kind of approaches when he writes a book or does a CD, it's not really about Catholicism. It's kind of about general, just being nice to anybody, right? The golden rule.
Mm-hmm.
Although he does talk about the Mass at times and explains the Mass to people. And I don't think most people get it. Like they'll go to church and go, I don't like the new choir director. We're not going to church next week. That's really not why you're going to church, because of the choir director. By the way, there's some other stuff going on that's pretty important. But he says something great. He says the biggest crime in the Catholic Church is that we're letting the media tell us who we are. This is the biggest crime in America, is we're letting the media tell us who we are. We're letting rich people say that we can't do it because they're rich and they want all the money and you're not as smart as me. This is what people keep getting told, and this is why we have this mediocrity problem. Is because they don't think they can do it. It's like a podcast. My daughter came to me 3 years ago and says, "Dad, why don't you start a podcast?" I said, "What's a podcast?" I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
This is when COVID started. We were in New Orleans seeing her. Came back, found my mentor under 30, right? Everybody, all of us should have one of those so they know how to do tech. I said, "How do you do a podcast?" "Oh, it's easy. You just do this, blah, blah." I said, "What if I screw it up?" "Fuck it. Do it again. Do another one." There's no FCC. There's no issue here, right? So I started a podcast. Now I have over 100 episodes, which I should have more at this point, but that's okay. I'm rolling.